Good morning, August 26th. I got up here while it was still dark. I'm still waiting for the sun to rise. It's about 7:30 now. Came up here to check to see how many trees have fallen because it's been raining the last couple days. Hopefully today is not a day it's going to rain. It shouldn't be. I have my fire started good. So just in case I get soaking wet today. So I figured out my chainsaw, my new one. It decided to eat a piston. So I have to get a new jug and piston for it. It's no big deal. I'll order those, but come the first of the month, I'm going to have to get a new saw. So I'm going to just get a brand new one. Not going to go through a pawn shop. I'm just going to go get a nice Stihl with a 16-inch bar. I have extra bars for a 16-inch, plus I've got an extra bar for a 20-inch. I can make it go up to a 20-inch, it'll run, but I'll keep it at a 16 because I've got brand new chains for it and everything else. So we'll do it that way until I get my big 2-foot saw running. So until then, I've got a little bit of mind-blowing stuff to do. I'm going to start falling trees the old-fashioned way, axe. So, and since it's rained, I don't know if you can see this, everything is completely wet and slicker than a butt. So trying to get up these hills and select trees where they're somewhat close. What I'll do is I'll cut them down. I got one or two over here that I've been looking at for a while. I'll go ahead and cut those down, measure them off, and we'll set them up in here. So, this 17-footer I've got right here, I'm going to make it work over here. This one right here, I've got this one already in here. I've got it pretty well set. I need to just figure out which side's the bottom, which the side facing is probably going to be the bottom. And then on top I've got a couple of knots, but I can either knock them down with the axe or I can knock them down with the hammer and the wood chisel. So get that one set in today. I won't I don't think I'm going to spike that one down. I think I'm going to spike the 12-footers down on top. I keep forgetting that stupid ass hacksaw. I'll bring that up tomorrow. So it's uneventful walking up. Saw some eyes. I didn't know what it was, but because I had all the lights on my truck coming up here. It was dark as hell. So, but I got the bow saw here. I've got chisel, hammer, a couple other things that I had left out, which I shouldn't have, but I just wanted to get out of here. It was raining. Didn't have time to pick them up. I got my axe over there that I did pick up. I'm going to throw a little bit more edge on it. That way it's way easier to get through some of these trees, and we're going to follow them however they fall. Most of them are going to go downhill, which is fine. Doesn't bother me. They can go downhill, they can go sideways, doesn't matter. But I'm going to try and, I've got some trees down. The 12-footers I got over there, I'm going to wait just a little bit on them. I'll bring those up in a little while. Or I could go grab them today, it's no biggie. So one of the first things I want to get done today is I'm just going to V-notch this log here. Get it set in, see what I need to do to flatten out the top. I don't have much work on this one over here. I have to, those spikes, I've got to bend them up, bend them around, break them, whatever. Can hacksaw them. Or I can just leave them there. They're going to be covered up by another log. I think I'll just leave them there. I will spike on the outside. Doesn't matter. So anyways, my little wood thing did awesome. The wood was kind of wet when I went in there, but there's a little trick that I do on wet wood. You try and select the ones that aren't too wet and they look kind of dry, or they were dry, and you split them up and you make kindling out of them. Now the inside of that little log is going to be dry instead of soaking wet like it is on the outside. So you get as much as the inside split up to little kindling. Then I use my fire starter, which is cotton balls soaked in candle wax. I melt the candle wax, soak them in there, and then let them dry. And here, let me show you what I got here. Because I had to make up a bunch this morning. Because I made up a bunch, but I've been up here a month burning wood and stuff. So, but anyway, let me grab one of these out of here. See, I've got a whole bag of them. But this is just a cotton ball. See? It's just, I've dipped it in wax to where it quit bubbling, so it's got wax all the way through it. And what you do is, here, let me do this. Let's see if I can do it with the phone in my hand. Okay. So anyways, what you do is you tear it to where you have little fibers and stuff. And this thing, that'll be like the wick on a candle. It fires right up. You slide this up under your kindling, boop, and get your kindling started. Throw on a couple big pieces to get them dried out, whatever, and started. And as you can see, this is about the size of the kindling I'm using, and they're going good. I'm starting to get some good coals in there. Toss some of these up in here and start moving the fire in and back. That way it quits smoking here, goes out the chimney side. So, but I had some logs in here that were burning the other day. They kind of got a little wet. This one here is coaled up really quick. This one was like fairly dry, and there was a couple underneath that were fairly dry. So all I'm doing is just set the logs down up into the fire, get them all dried out. They will catch. Takes them a little bit, but they'll catch. So anyway, and that's how I start a fire. Rather than put gasoline or everything was so damn wet, you couldn't use a ferro rod, which is a magnesium rod with a stainless steel striker, or a steel striker, I should say. I have one of those in my bag. They're quite fun to use when everything is dry. In fact, show you what I'm talking about. It's not that. Not that. Truth call. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. This is my ferro rod. It's a magnesium bar, steel striker, and what you do is you get your little bird's nest, dry stuff, such as little twigs. You can do wood shavings. You just take a knife and start shaving down wood, and you can make little prickly sticks. Some people call them feather sticks, right? Where as you're cutting it down, you get that little curl of the wood coming down, but you don't cut it off. You just do it out a bunch of times on this piece of wood. So it looks like, I don't know, the outside of a pineapple, I guess. And you put those around by the side of your bird's nest. Now your bird's nest got to be like you want birch bark would be the best. Now there's a bunch of birch up here. I just didn't get any bark. When it dries out, I'll get some and I'll put it in a plastic bag and then I'll have some. Another thing is, I've been cutting on logs. Sawdust makes an awesome deal. So anyways, you take this ferro rod, and you, without making a spark, you shave off some of the magnesium, and you put it in your bird's nest. Then you take these two, and you strike a spark right on top of all your shavings. Now it's going to sit there and, right, it's going to want to flare up. And while it's doing that, give it a light blow into your bird's nest. It's going to catch something. As long as you have an ember in there, you have fire. Just lightly blow on it, lightly blow on it. When you start getting a little bit of flame and stuff, take one of those little prickly sticks that you shaved off and set it over the top of it. Get those little pieces of wood. You want to get them started, right? Once you get this all started, you set that whole pile of stuff real gently on the inside where you're going to build a fire. Now you can take a couple more of those little prickly pear thingies, those feather sticks, and put those on top. Get them going, right? And then you get your little kindling going. Then you get a little bit bigger. Then you can start putting logs on, dry them out, and get them ready to burn. See, now my fire died down, but it has a lot of coals in there. So as this thing coals up, it's going to get hotter. All this wood is going to start, so I'm not worried about that. A fire just means something's burning. The coals are, you don't cook on a flame at all, because it's not really hot. You cook on coals. It's hotter. It'll cook anything you want to cook faster, better. So flame's not everything. But you also don't want to choke your fire off, right? So, as we're doing this, if you notice, we've got some of these pieces started. But if I pull some of this back and rotate some of this over, oops, I want to put you right there. Anyways, get it like that. Now this piece right here has got coals on top, but now I'm going to dry it out underneath. While it's burning on top, it's going to burn underneath. This one right here has also got coals underneath, so what I'll do is I'll rotate that around. Put that, well, I'll just put it in there. There's a lot of these pieces that have a lot of coals on it. So you just rotate them around, get everything started, right? Get your flame back to going. I know I've got coals in there, so it's going to be nice and hot. Not going to hurt nothing. And slowly, even though I've got this big one in here, that's going to make a ton of coals, and I can put smaller stuff like that, like these two pieces. In fact, I got a piece of kindling right here. I'll just stick that in there. That'll burn up real good. It'll get started and go. I've got little pieces of kindling out here. Just drop them in there wherever. They'll get started. They'll burn. So anyways, that's for those of you that are not outdoorsmen. Kind of teach you how to build a fire. A lot of these guys, they do all this ferro rod stuff, and make it easy on yourself. I use, because I smoke, I use, oops, hang on a minute. I use a Zippo lighter. Now, I don't like to get wax on my Zippo lighter. So, an outdoorsman always carries a spare. See, I've got a ferro rod for emergencies. I have just a little crappy little good light. Come on. Oh, I'll turn it up. But that was a little too much. But you use these crappy little lighters for, well, come on, there it is. You use these crappy little lighters to light your little cotton balls or whatever you're going to use as your fire starter. And it is so much easier, even when the wood is wet like it is today. my wood pile over there is completely soaked because of 2 days of heavy rain. So that's going to have to dry out. I'm not worried about that. This over here, it rained a little bit, so the outside portions of them are kind of wet. But if I split them, if you look at like this log right here, this little log, you split them, the insides are dry. You just got to be picky choosy on which ones you're grabbing. And you just take them over to your log over there. Use your axe or your hatchet, split them down, open them up. You get a lot of dry wood. So anyways, my fire is going to go good. It's going to be low and slow today because of all the dampness, the humidity, and everything else. So good to hook on that. I took my water cans down the other day after making the deer cocaine, and Silly Bean forgot to fill them up this morning. So they're still down there in the truck empty. I could go down to the creek and fill them up. It's not that far. But I don't feel like driving down there to go get it. But today, I did bring up the rifle. Brought up another bag of deer corn. The next shot of deer corn I'm going to get is going to be different than this. Because, wipe that off. Okay. Deer corn and turkey feed. Because we get a lot of turkey up here. But this is apple flavored. It takes a couple of days for the deer to eat on this because of the apple flavoring. It smells like apples. It smells really good. Now, I don't know about the bear, but the pile that I passed down there hasn't been touched for 2 days. The pile up here hasn't been, well, it was touched the other day, but this one's starting, the corn kernels are starting to sprout. So I'm going to have corn up here. Yay. But kind of beside both piles, I put that deer cane down. The one down there has been pawed at. The one up here has yet to be pawed at. So the deer know where they're at. If they're around that corn, they can smell it, and it's just a mineral block that you put in the dirt. You don't buy the mineral block as it is. You just go ahead and put it in the dirt. Now, come payday, I'll probably buy 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably buy 4. They're called whitetail blocks. Now they've got corn in them. It's a mineral block, salt block. It's all combined, and it's specifically for whitetail deer. So going down this way, I'll set one down by the creek, way down at the bottom. I'll set one up here. Going the other way, I'll set one at that where the corn is, down around the corner and down by where I come up. And I might set one in the middle here or down by where my truck is. It's kind of open, but there's a lot of little saplings in there, and the deer like to hide in those saplings. So I'll probably put one down there. The turkey like to chomp on them too. They'll get the corn out and whatnot. But yeah. So I'm going to take this bag of corn, put half of it over there, half of it over there. But today is going to be fun. I'm going to be falling trees with an axe, cutting them up 2 sides with an axe. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I need to get this stuff going. So the faster I can get it done, the happier I'll be, because of hunting season is coming. And hunting season, I want to, if I don't have this done, because I'm running out of time rather quickly, I'll have the walls done. If I have to, I'll put the rafters on without putting the top on. And if I don't get the top on, I'll just put a tarp over it, just for this hunting season. Now, when hunting season ends in January for big game, a lot of the little stuff I can still hunt till February. So during that January, February time frame, if it's not too snowy and not too cold, I'll be up here cutting the boards for the top, getting it all finished up. I'll finish it off this winter and have my little camping and hunting cabin for the spring. Yeah, I've only got, let's see, five more. Well, I don't have my tape measure out, but for 5 logs, that's about 3 foot, 2.5 to 3 foot. So if I put 5 or 6 more around, since I have that 17 footer there, I only need 12 more. If I'm going to do 6 more, which will put it up 6 feet. If I do 6 more, I need 6 for this side, 6 for this side, so that's 12. Now going up the other way, I already have 5, so I'm going to need 6 and 6. So 12 footers and 12 17 footers. That's not bad. That's a few trees though. But what I can do is I'll select the trees. I'll get a 17 footer out of it and a 12 footer out of it. Hopefully. Hopefully they won't be too skinny. Now, this top one here that I put in, this is the continuation top of it. This goes up to the top of the tree. Now that's getting really skinny, but the way that this went to get it straight, there's not much of a little hump I got to cut into this, so it'll bring it up. So, yeah, we'll get there. It'll be pretty even. If it's not, it's no big deal. I can fix that by putting in the bigger logs of the rafters on the uphill side, smaller logs coming down off the rafters on the downhill side, and that'll kind of even it out. And or I could go on the uphill side, right, and just, well, no, that really wouldn't work, but I could go up with the logs more, right? But then I would be cutting extra 12 footers, which I don't want to do, and stacking them up, get that side up, and then cut all the logs at an angle, and then I could put my boards up in there and just make a one-sided, like a lean-to cabin. But I'm not into that. That's too much work. We want to make this go fast, so need 12 more 17 footers, 12 more 12 footers, because basically the inside dimensions of this cabin is 10 foot by 15 foot. So I'm having a foot of log or so overhang each way. So if I need a 10-foot log because it's 10 foot on the inside, put a foot over there, it's 12 foot. Same thing, 15 foot on the inside, so I need a foot over there, it's 17 foot. Gives me, it's a little smaller than 10 by 15, but that's okay. That's okay. This is good size. Most everybody else that I know that builds these cabins and stuff, they're building on the verge of 10 by 10, 8 by 10. That's an awful small cabin, but for what they're using it for, that's great. For me, I wanted like a pretty nice bed. If I need to, I can extend this bed out a little bit. I can make another root to the foot and have it fold down where I can fold it up so the bed will be a little bit longer. That's no big deal. I can deal with that. There's always ways to fix that. But that's about 5 foot by 5 foot, which is short. It's wide enough for what I want, but it's a little short. And what I can do is I'll just put some real big hinges and some fold up legs on a board. I can do 1 by whatever and just get a big thick log. Cut one out of it. I can make it 2 inches. Put it on some hinges slide it up and then drop the two legs, because I'll fold it up to the center. Fold them down, drop them down, because there's really not going to be any weight on there. This is a bed. That's going to be where your feet is at, or your head. It's not going to have much weight, so can always fix that. I just wanted to get that made because I have to stand on that to get some of these logs up, and I don't want to be moving the ladder from here to there, here to there, here to there. If I got a ladder set over here, it'll be good. Now over on this side, I will have to ladder. But the downhill side is going to be way easier. So, for anyways and anywho's, it's starting to get light enough to where I can start crawling around the hill and start getting some trees down. First things first though, I'm going to notch this thing and get it put in. And then I've got some logs that are already down. I'm going to go down and chop them about 13 foot, because I'm going to cut 6 inches or so off each end to make it look nice, because when I use the axe, it's going to be pointed. No biggie. But I'll dress it up later with the saw. So I figure every day I can have at least one round, which is 4 logs. 2 12-footers, 2 17-footers on this thing. So that gives me about a week, which is good. I can have this thing done in the next 30 days. But starting on the first, I have got to, and I mean I have got to get another saw. Or get my other one fixed. That one will be, I'll get the parts about the second week of next month. Get it all put back together and bring it up here. Then I have 20 days to finish this. So I wasn't expecting to have 2 saws go down at the same time. The other saw I looked at, I got to figure that one out. It's like it has no compression, so I'll probably have to pull the jug on that. See how that looks. If it's good, then I'll put it all back together. I've already cleaned the carburetor on it. It's a finicky saw. You can flood it at the drop of a hat. So, I don't know. It was running, and all of a sudden it quit. So I'll look at it and see what the hell I can do it. The green saw is already taken apart. That's how I figured out it needed the piston and the jug, because it ate itself. It's got some really nice scrapes up inside on the piston and the jug. And I mean, that thing just went, and what it was is the oil rings on the piston failed. They broke off in there, and it caught a piece, and that was the end of that. So that's all right. That's a good saw anyways. I'm going to fix that one. So there's nothing to fix any of these saws. It just takes time. Time and money. So we're just dealing with what we can deal with. And for some reason, I gotta find it, or just go make a new one. Somehow, some way, when the tree fell on here the other day and I was cleaning up, I pitched my little fire poker stick down the hill. And I don't quite see it right here. And if I did pitch it, it's way down the hill, so I'll just get me another one. I'll make me another one. Or I could, if I really wanted to, where the hell I put it, that's probably still down there. My forest rake, I can use that as my poker. But no, I've got a lot of these green limbs and stuff here. Plus I got limbs off this thing. I can just chop one off and make a poker stick out of that. I'll just do that. Probably take one of those lower limbs off since they're a little bit bigger. Because today that tree's coming out of here. And it's going to be put down next to this one. That's one of them that fell. And I was able to yank it out the other day. And it's really dry on the inside because it's rotten. It's not really rotten. It just it dried out. Wasn't growing anymore, so it fell over. With this one. This one knocked it over. So we will take the axe up, start knocking some of these limbs down, and I'll pull that thing down and get it over here. So when I do get my saw going, I can start cutting this stuff up into 12 to 16 inch logs. That way I can split them if I need to. If not, I'll throw them under some plastic, keep them dry. That way I have dry wood. And that plastic with the boards on top, it works really, really, really well. I mean, it's not been trapping too much water, so it's good enough for me. And then when I get this all built up, I'll have it in here and it'll be drying out. And I'm going to go get some of these deadfall trees that are dry. And I'm going to mix those in with the green wood. So there's quite a few of them laying around, as long as they're not rotten. Rotten wood does not like to burn. So remember I said that the fire was going to be okay with all them coals? See there? Nice, low and slow. In fact, I could probably put another one of those back logs, throw that back on there, because they got caught in the rain and they got wet. But they've got char on them, so I can take some of these. That one's the one that's burning. That one's burning. That one I put in there. That one. When it burns down a little bit, I'll move the fire back. It'll catch them. So it's like, no big deal. No biggie. Don't. Anyways, this be me. It's morning of the 26th. Tomorrow. Yay, tomorrow. It's my brother's birthday. Give a shout out to him. Happy birthday, Brian, early. I'll give him a call and text him tomorrow, because his birthday is coming up. He's going to be a whopping 60 years old this time around. Yeah, he'll be about 60 years old. He's a year and a half behind me. So, he turns the big 6-0, and then he gets to start having fun like me. Body starts failing and hurting every day, and oh yeah, all the good stuff in life. So anyways, we are just hanging out. I'm getting ready to go get sweaty and wet and rained on with the trees. When I start smacking them with the axe, it's going to rain right on me. So, and I do have to watch what I'm doing today, because it rained heavily, and some of these trees like to come down. There's been just that light rain from a couple days ago. There's a bunch of trees down. This time coming up, I didn't have to move any trees out of my way, but when I was up here the last time, right before it really started raining heavy, I was listening to big trees crashing down. So quite a few trees coming down. It happens in the forest all the time. Trees come down. So anyways, I'm going to get started here in just a few. So yeah. See ya.